I'm really interested in preventing crime. To me, that's public safety as well as reacting after a crime has been committed. But I think for the long term, the more you can do to engage young people in productive activities and education and good health care and those kinds of things, we're going to see less of the criminal behavior. I'm also interested in the whole issue of mass incarceration, overrepresentation of minorities in the criminal justice system. And you just are more effective if you're inside making those observations and changes rather than just talking about it on the outside. I know there's a deep distrust right now among particularly communities of color and a feeling that they do not get justice. And so I want to work really hard to repair those relationships or establish them. So whatever I can do to foster a good relationship between the police and the community, I'm committed to doing. So right away, we're going to be starting a restorative justice program in our juvenile department so that we do have alternatives for kids so that they are not, so that they're given opportunities to really look at their behavior and make some changes in their behavior. I'm also going to have citizens advisory councils so that I have more presence in the community. I'm going to be requiring my deputy DAs to go to neighborhood meetings so we can hear from the community what they're thinking, what they're interested in, what's going on with crime in their communities, what kind of opportunities would they like to see us pursue. So we'll have more community involvement than I think is currently going on. I want to coordinate or expand the use of the independent monitor's office just to assist in reviewing what the facts show and whether or not cases are fileable, and have what they call like a double refusal. So if we're not going to file a case, having someone else in the office, one of the high-level deputies, take a look at the case as well. And then what I hope to do, and we haven't quite figured out exactly how this will work, but I want to have a public, if we decide not to file a case, I want to have a public meeting where people can come and there's a discussion about what the facts were, what the evidence showed, why we didn't believe that it was possible to actually file a criminal case, so that there's more transparency and more opportunity for the public to understand why decisions are made. That said, if the police do break the law, I will file a case. I mean, I prosecuted a Denver police officer when I was in the DA's office, and he was convicted. So if they do break the law, I will hold them accountable. I think that the death penalty is a really tough issue for me and for victims of crime, but I have a couple of reasons. I don't think that the state should be in the business of killing people. I think our punishment is adequate for people who end up spending their life in prison. These are the most tragic, horrific, awful cases you can even imagine, where it would even be considered. But I just have a fundamental belief that we have other ways to punish and to provide for safety. I don't think it really serves much of a deterrent value because these kinds of crimes are the kind that I don't think people who commit them think about that or would be dissuaded. Also, they take so many resources and so much time, and then they don't get resolved for so many years. I think it's just a drain on all of our resources. If we can get a plea to life in prison without the possibility of parole, we address, I think, a lot of that agony that victims feel, victims' families feel, I should say, when the situation just goes on and on and on for 20 years, costs millions and millions of taxpayer money, both for defense and for prosecution and for imprisonment. So I just think when you weigh all of those factors, that I don't believe that we should bring the death penalty in Denver.